Good evening, my name is Steve Pereira. Welcome to Quedia on Ben TV, where we explore all things art and culture. If you think you've read the classic, Herman Melville's Billy Budd, or Robert Louis Stevenson's The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, think again. They've all been rewritten, just like that. Yes, the audacity of it, tampering with the canon of English literature, how dare he, how very dare he. To explain just how and why he dares, please welcome Melbourne writer and iconoclast, Leif Smart. Welcome to Ben TV, Leif.
Thank you.
The Regender project. Can you tell us what it is about?
Yes, well, I am tampering with the canon of English literature, and what I do is I take these classic works and I swap the genders of all the characters, so the men become women and the women become men. And that's basically it. So instead of novels that are filled with male characters and in all the important roles, they're now filled with female characters. And
so is this, well, it begs the question, why?
It's predominantly to help promote gender equality. I kind of notice that narratives in general are very skewed towards men, like most movies and books are just filled with male characters. And I kind of wanted to help illustrate that and to some degrees help balance against it. So having sort of these novels, almost a mirror version of them, focused on women.
Because as we know historically that the canon of English literature, this is the work that's been the best of literature, is mainly men, and the people who decided which books were going to be accepted into the canon were also decided by men. And the characters are also very male-focused.
Yeah.
So this is your attempt to refocus it on creating a sort of gender equality, because would it then refocus refocusing on making it most of the characters female rather than male? What is there? Where does the equality come in?
It's mostly to highlight it. I think while there's a growing awareness that there's this imbalance in how men and women are portrayed in narratives, I kind of wanted to have a real concrete example. So you have the original work and then you have a regendered ones, and you can just see a clear difference where like when you read the originals, you don't notice how male-centric they are because we are just brought up and so used to reading them like that. Whereas having this sort of, emphasises, no, there is a difference. This is what the opposite view looks like, and hopefully going forward we'll find somewhere in the middle where there's a balance between the genders.
So is your audience for these books and people who are aware of the original and you want to make them conscious of the difference, or is it a new audience?
A bit of both. I think originally I was kind of aimed towards people who are familiar with the originals because they would be able to see the difference straight away and it would help prompt discussion around the issue. And then as I started regendering novels I hadn't read myself, I found how enjoyable they were to read as a new reader. And it shouldn't be surprising to read novels filled with women characters. It shouldn't be surprising that's enjoyable. And I think that's kind of an issue in itself. So I think it appeals to people who are new to these novels that might have been put off because of how focused on men they are. And ideally I'd like sort of young people to be able to read them as well, because well, they're the ones who will one day write novels that are more gender balanced.
So the books you've already done are pretty well really important books in the canon of work. Billy Budd, The Princess, Mark Twain's The Princess and the Pauper, Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter, Stevenson's, as I mentioned, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which you've written on Miss Hyde. Conan Doyle's A Study in Scarlet. Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days, War of the Worlds. These are major books. Now, part of the reason you're able to do this is because these books are not copyright anymore. They're free.
They're in the public domain, so you are able to freely edit them.
What are the particular challenges of regendering?
I think generally names I found challenging because I have to pick new names for the characters, names that sort of give a good sense of the original character so people aren't too alienated from the new versions, while at the same time being a new name.
But surely it's not just a matter of changing the pronouns. You don't just change he to she, because sometimes you have to change the entire context of her.
Yeah, I think with descriptions it can, is where it becomes tricky. If you have male characters described as wearing pants and with long beards and whiskers, when it's regendered to a female character, it feels a bit too jarring. So I need to go back and sort of edit through that to make it a bit more in line.
So did you remove the descriptors out, or did you write new descriptions?
I went with removing the descriptions. I shy away from putting my own words into these classic works. So I think maybe one day I'll sort of be brave enough to do that, but for the moment I'm kind of sort of treading lightly.
Do you have a favourite from the books you've done where the regendering has worked particularly well?
They're all quite good. I think The Scarlet Letter I like just because of the theme behind it, the idea of male characters who are shunned and ostracised because of a sexual indiscretion.
But we were talking about that earlier, because The Scarlet Letter is all about gender.
Yeah.
It's all about this woman who's being cast aside for committing adultery, and so gender is central to that.
Yes.
So how do you attempt that then, to regender it in that way?
I think that's where my method of sort of not doing too much, because I'm just swapping the genders and it leaves it open for the reader to sort of look for the message that they want.
But you didn't, hopefully you didn't take the role that Demi Moore did and give it a happy ending.
No, it's still the original ending.
It's still the original ending. So you won't tamper with the basic structure for with the basic themes remain the same?
Yes.
Fantastic. So where can we find you? Or where can the audience find you?
I've independently published them on Amazon, so if you search for LE Smart on Amazon, you'll be able to find all my books, or check out my website at www.leafsmart.com.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, congratulations. I mean, it's about time that we've had a regendering project for this kind of work that is so male-centric.
Yep.
I'm really interested to read them. I went through some of the books that looked really interesting, so I'm anxious to read The Scarlet Letter in full.
Yep.
To see that. But thank you so much for being with us on Ben TV.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations on this very unique project.
Thank you.
You've been with Steve Pereira on Quedia on Ben TV. Thank you for watching. We'll be back.